Y'all ready to see the books I got myself for Christmas? It's actually kind of like a thing in my life that no one else really gets me books necessarily for Christmas. I think because they just don't know where to start, and that's fair. I don't mind being the gifter of books. The only person that ever really tries is Gina, and for the most part, I think the method is like if I throw a bunch of books at it, some of them will stick. So I appreciate any gift I'm given that's a book, but I do usually take it into my own hands to buy gifts that are books after Christmas. So of course I went to the Barnes and Noble sale this year, but I also got some books for some other places, so I'm going to show you those as well. Um, all of these are hidden from you, so you cannot tell what they are, except you might be able to figure out what that one is, and you can probably see the top of that one. So I'm going to start with this one. So this top book is What the Woods Took. This is the Owl Crate for December. Now I read this back in, oh gosh, I want to say the spring. I got an arc of it and read it, but I didn't review about it because it was still when St. Martin's Press and all their little imprints were under the strike. So I thought it was good. I really enjoyed it. And I was waiting for it to come out. And then when I found out Owl Crate was doing a special edition, I got excited. It's not bad. This is nice. This is nice. I like the original cover as well. It matches her other books. They all have that similar, like, girl's head and smoke thing going on. But, like, this is a fun take on it. It has cool designs on the pages and art, right? And I even like the inside of the cover is this big, like, cool design. The front cover here says, "Don't be scared of the quiet" in gold foil. I know it's going to be hard to see with the sun. And "Don't be scared of the dark" in gold and green foil. And we have a picture of a very important scene in the book where they cross the river and everything kind of goes to shit after that. I'm not a fan of the back. I know you can't really tell. It's not good. It's supposed to be two teenage girls and it looks like a young boy and a grandmother. So don't know who got the art direction on that one, but I've got some questions. Anyway, that was the Owl Crate for December. So I figured I'd go ahead and haul it. I've got it. And I might move my camera so I'm not in such direct sunlight. I feel like I look like a crazy person with my eyes right now. So let me move and then we'll start again. Is that better? The problem is there's no really good place to be at this time of day where the sun is at, where it's not like all of it or none of it. So anyway, the next book I'm going to show you is a pre-order that came in. I got Private Rights by Julia Armfield. She wrote Our Wives Under the Sea. And this one is like a retelling. I want to say it's a retelling of like King Lear because it's about sisters and their father's estate. But it's relatively short. It's probably going to be one I pick up in January. If you have not heard or if I've not said, I have this competition with one of my AP Lit seniors where she said she's going to read more books than me over spring semester. And if she reads more than me, I have to buy her a Stanley. So it's cute that she thinks she can beat me. But anyway, that might be one I pick up in January for fun. I got some pretty decent books from Enjoy. I got another copy of Book Thief to put in my classroom library. I use that as a additional read when we read night for my honors class, so they can pick a World War II novel to read. There's different genres, but Book Thief is one of the popular ones. I've also considered making my seniors read it. I also found The Ogress and the Orphans, so that's 2 copies of that from my library now. And do you have to scratch right now? They got the world's cutest little gingerbread house scratching post thing for Christmas, but Tim loves it. I got Greetings from Nowhere, but it's based in North Carolina, so I thought that was pretty cool. It's in the Sleepy Time Motel, Shawnee Gap, North Carolina. Short little, I think, middle grade. So that's pretty cool. What else did I get? Oh, these next ones also came from Enjoy. They were just put in a different spot. I have The Witching Tide by Margaret Meyer. And I don't know a lot about this either. It just said for fans of Margaret Atwood. And I figured I needed to look into it. It's about, it's based in 1645. Martha Hallibred A midwife, healer, and servant has lived peacefully for more than 4 decades in her beloved seaside village of Cleftwater. Having lost her voice as a child, Martha has not spoken a word in years. One autumn morning, a sinister newcomer appears in town. The witch-finder Silas Makepeace has been blazing a trail of destruction along the coast and now has Cleftwater in his sights. So, I don't know. This feels like something that would hit for me as far as historical stuff goes. I don't often read historical, but when I do, it is in the vein of Margaret Atwood, so we'll see. I also found a jacketless The Shape of Water, and it is like that Shape of Water, like the movie Shape of Water. It's got pictures and stuff in it, but it's funny because I think it's more like not the script, but kind of like the script. Anyway, I've never seen the movie, so figured I'd get the book. We had The Club, which I've had my eyes on for a while. I don't know a lot about it, but it did seem like something I would pick up over the summer to read, so that's pretty cool. And then the author of Let the Right One In has a book called Handling the Undead, and I found that. So not a bad enjoy haul overall. So now let's talk about David's used books. I actually have one more thing to talk about from Enjoy, but I'm going to use the last part of the video to talk about that because I don't want to move those books quite yet. Anyway, David's books. I brought books to them twice since we've done a haul last, and so these are all the books I've gotten when I just kind of peruse and wait for him to tell me what my total is. I ended up getting all these books for technically $1 because of all the credit that I had accrued. So I got, they usually have a section that's like the newest ones they've gotten in the store, and that's where I hit first because that's such a, you either find it or you don't. I got Act Cool, which is a relatively new book, so I don't know. It's a YA about doing stuff. I could read it to you. I could read you what it's about. August Green just nailed the audition of a lifetime. Now he's landed a coveted spot as a junior in the prestigious School of Performing Arts in New York, where the real deal actors are made. There's only one problem. He had to run away from his small town conservative parents who do not accept that he's transgender. If he wants to stay with his aunt in the city, he must promise his parents he won't transition and continue to play the role of their daughter. Because August is an actor to the core, he is convinced he can play the part his parents want while acting cool and confident in the company and talent of his talented new friends. But who does August want to be when the lights are down? And where does he turn when the roles start hitting a little too close to home? Ooh, that's going to be good. And I've heard good things about Stay Gold, the other one by this author, but I've never read it, so that's a cool find. I also found a copy of With the Fire on High. Love to get another copy of this for my classroom library. This one is going into sort of a thing for my AP Lit kids to do at the end of the year when the stakes are a little bit lower, where they have to read newer books and determine whether they are worth putting in the canon for AP Lit. So that's one of the books. I found a book for my mom for Christmas or her birthday next year, so I'm going to show it to you, but nobody can tell her, okay? I found The First Wives Club, and she loves that movie, so she's probably going to get that for her birthday. I found Cool for the Summer. This is the second copy I have of this, so there'll be multiple copies for kids to read at school. I found She Drives Me Crazy, which is also relatively new. I found Something to Talk About, which I've been wanting to read. And Anaya Del Mar jumps in. I think there's a bilingual, like Spanish translation of this available on First Book Marketplace. So that's cool. I could get that and have 2 copies of that book. But that's the David's haul. Not too shabby. So let me show you now the other part of the Enjoy haul. Give me a second. I don't quite think you're ready for what I'm about to show you here. I just was minding my business, looking for any last minute things I may want to get my parents, my husband, my sister for Christmas. And I found the Series of Unfortunate Events for 75 cents hardcover. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It is all 13 hardcover editions of Series of Unfortunate Events for 75 cents each. That was already crazy. 75 cents each was already insane. They made an announcement. They made the mistake of making an announcement. We're closing in 30 minutes. Remember, everything today is half off. I got this plus like 2 other books that you just saw for like $5. Love it here. So I spent, it was just over $40 at Barnes & Noble. I had a $50 gift card and I had $44 in credit, so I knew I was going to spend a lot, but I didn't want to like personally spend too much. The first thing I'm going to show you is my Junji Ito that I got. I always pick up a Junji Ito. I got Fragments of Horror. The cover's kind of cool because, I mean, obviously it's got weird stuff on it, but there's like designs in the shininess of it. I know you can't see it, but like if you see one of these in the bookstore, pick it up. It's kind of cool. So I'll probably read this for Winterween. Usually doesn't take me too long. Penguin Clothbound Classics has been doing this thing where they do like mini editions of books. And I've got, I think, at least 2 of them up on the shelf. I've got Mask of the Red Death and Lady Susan. But I also picked up these. So I got Edith Wharton's Summer. You see it's got like pink books on it. I think that's kind of cute. I got O. Henry's The Gift of the Magi. And Sylvia Townsend Warner's Lolly Willows. The only reason I really got this one is because I'm trying to get like rainbow colors, you know, like if I'm not going to get all of them at once, at least get like a rainbow collection. So they didn't have a lot of the clothbound classics that I didn't already have. I don't know, to me it looks like they're phasing them out, which makes me nervous, because it's hard to get these anywhere else. I found them at Target before, but it is hard to come by. I really wish this piece of hair would stop. Oh my god, I regret ever wanting bangs. So I got this copy of what I believe is going to be their sort of new cloth-bound collection. It's the only one I got of this one. It's Pride and Prejudice, because obviously it's Pride and Prejudice. Pretty basic. Cover on the back. It says, so it has like a little synopsis in the front. It says Union Square & Co. Signature Cloth-bound editions. I don't know anything about it, but it is from this year, and they had a crap ton of these editions. So if you're looking for a different kind of cloth bound, they have these now, but that's the only one I got this time. Let's look at the actual cloth bounds I got. I only got 3, but that's because I mainly focused on these, and they had more of this style than they did these other ones. So I got a copy of Little Women, which I swore I had, but apparently I don't. So I got Little Women. I got The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for another bright color. And hilariously enough, given current discourse, I got The Odyssey. So that's going to fit right in on the shelf. I'll put them in my little spreadsheet so I don't have any duplicate copies or anything. And then the very last thing I picked up at Barnes & Noble, and I like put it in my basket, and I put it back, and I put it in my basket, and I put it back. I got the special edition of Wicked. That's the hardcover with the green edges, and it's got a bookmark. It's so pretty. Look at that gorgeous map. I did not get the paperbacks, even though they were very, very tempting. I almost bought that collection, because one thing that I noticed last night when I was finishing Wicked, and I was looking at my shelf up here where Wicked lives, none of them really match. Like, even the matching sets don't match. They're either too big or too small. The spines don't look good together, and it just pisses me off so bad. And so these new paperbacks all match. Maybe for my birthday I'll treat myself. But anyway, I've got one more book to show you. A couple weeks ago I entered a Goodreads giveaway. I never really expect to win those, but I did win this one, and I had forgotten it was coming in, and then I got random book mail, and I was like, ooh, I wonder what this book mail is. And it was this. I got T. Kingfisher's Sword Heart. It's a nice little advanced reader copy of Sword Heart. So this doesn't come out till February, but now I have my hands on it. So excited. Anyway, this is mainly for Gina, because I wouldn't let her see it when I got it. So here, Gina, this is what I was keeping from you. This is the arc that I won. But that's it. That was my haul. I think it was a pretty good haul. Considering it was just December, I probably won't buy new books again till like my birthday. I like to put myself on like a buying ban, a book buying ban for January, because I usually spend a lot right after Christmas on books. So this is going to have to be enough. It's going to have to make me happy for now. And now comes the joy of trying to find room on my shelves for these. Yay. You know what was really funny is when I bought the hardcover series of unfortunate events, Stephen was like, well, I'm glad I decided not to get you a full hardcover collection of series of unfortunate events. And I was like, dude, you never would have thought of that. You never would have thought of that. And I don't feel bad about it because I don't even have that collection. It's one of my favorite book series. I grew up on that the way kids grow up on Percy Jackson or Harry Potter. Like, that's the series I grew up on. And my copies at my mom's house are, first of all, probably damaged in their closet somewhere, but also they're a mixed matched version of editions and hardcover versus paperback, and they're all like very well read. So they're not bad copies, but this is a nice full hardcover set. Thank you to whoever was downgrading your library and you decided to get rid of them. I cannot wait to find room on my shelves for these books.